Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Experience Kills. This is episode 7. We are recording this midweek as we did a couple of weeks ago so we could get the special availability of Cam here on my left. He is here. I like this. We're doing like rotating third chair, Rob, isn't it? It's always me and you, but then we have Cameron one week and Richard the other, and I think it gives us a really different vibe. It's cool, it's fun, it's exciting. So we're doing late night again. We're all exhausted. We're in the first week of a new national lockdown, and boy, is that fun. But thankfully, Rob...
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yeah, because that makes it feel slightly better. But Rob, who I know has an amazing day today, has still got himself on to do the podcast with us, which I really appreciate, mate. So thank you for joining us. Especially as it's been a challenging week for all of us, I think, already in the UK.
Indeed.
But we still want to talk about games. There's still new consoles coming out next week. There's still a lot of hype. There's still a lot of excitement. Rob literally looks like he wants to murder someone, but I'm hoping he gets over that as we get into video game talk. But how are you guys doing? Like, how's everybody holding up in lockdown? Cam?
Well, just kind of glad there aren't any sharp instruments near me. I couldn't tolerate the 4 months of it last time. I don't know how this last month might just tip me over the edge a little bit. But I think lockdown's just messing with. I think a lot of people are kind of reluctant to go into it. Especially there's so much stuff going on around the world, and yet we've gone into lockdown that all we can do is now watch. If you got the US presidential election, who to this point I don't even know who's, and we're recording on a Thursday night. We have no idea who's president right now.
Nope. Yeah. Well, we don't know which president next. There's still Trump as president, but at the minute, we don't know who the next president will be. Biden is fractionally in the lead, but we've got a lot of swing states. We've got a lot of important college vote things. Fucking stupid US system, which is such bollocks. There's still a lot of that to be decided. Yeah, it just adds, doesn't it? It adds to all the fucking brilliant levels of anxiety and stress in the world right now around corona and pandemics and lockdowns, and it just keeps on building, man. But I think it's super important. Let's do a little PSA here. We're all going through this. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your loved ones, stay in contact. What we're doing right now, face to face. I'm reaching out, baby. I'm reaching out to you, Cam. I'm reaching out to you, Rob. What we're doing right now is a video podcast, and you don't have to do a podcast, but you can video call people, be in their lives, go the extra mile, do that, cross that distances virtually while we're all stuck in our homes, and just be there for each other. I think that's super important. Rob, how are you holding up? How's lockdown treating you? I know me and Rob worked together. I got out of the office a few days earlier. Rob was last out yesterday, weren't you? So basically,
yeah.
So I bet that was a weird experience. How you doing?
I literally locked up our office, which was a little bit of a weird feeling. It kind of has this feeling where you're at university and it's just before the summer break, just before the summer holidays. It's this weird kind of nothing much is being done because everyone's getting their home setups all sorted and moving all their kit to home and all that sort of thing. Where, today was day one, and we all still turned up and worked and did our jobs, but yesterday it was a very odd feeling. I don't know. It will be what it will be at the end of the day. It's important that we do the right thing and we abide by all the lockdown rules as best as we can. And as it currently stands, it is only for a month.
Fingers so crossed on that.
Yes.
Totally. God, so crossed. Right, that's enough of the lockdown stuff, though. Yeah, let's not dwell. Let's get into video games because that helps us forget reality, and that's never been more important than it is right now. So we'll dive into some news here, guys. Obviously, last time we talked about the news of Cyberpunk's delay, which I cry at least one single tear every day about that.
I think you're still in mourning.
I am. I saw some pictures on Twitter of new bus adverts and stuff for December 10th. They've spent all the money again for the second time on all the date-based marketing. So you have to freaking hope that it's going to stick to this date. But this story is related to it, and I think it's quite funny. It's you would do this, right? So two games from two different developers have got out of the way of the new release date, which is, I believe, was it Path of Exile's new expansion pack or DLC that they were going to release. They've just got no. Or is it Pillars of Eternity? It's PoE. I can't remember which one it is though. Can somebody check for me? And then the other one,
Path of Exile developer Grinding Gear Games moved its action RPG's next big expansion to next year.
Yeah, they were just like, nah, not doing it, not doing that, not fighting Cyberpunk, not crazy boy. And then also we've got, is it Everspace 2 in early access?
Exactly that.
Yeah, from Rockfish.
The space looter shooter.
Yeah, the first game was really good. Really, really different kind of game. Like, kind of like a roguelike, but like Star Wars Squadron style or Rogue Rebel Galaxy kind of like flying game, but like a roguelike run-based version of that. So like full 3D, interactive space shooter, but run-based and very difficult, and it kind of a fun mashup. So I was quite looking forward to seeing what the second game brought, but they've also got not competing with Cyberpunk in December, not doing that, because to December for most people, for developers and publishers, is usually a quiet month. It's usually a good time to get your indies out and your B-tier games, because you're not going to have a lot of competition. But when Cyberpunk marches into that month, you're just like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm out.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is too big and it's not even out yet. You cannot compete with it, regardless of whether the game plays well and launches wonderfully and smoothly and everything is happy and joyful with the world or not. You're not gonna win in that month. It's just not going to happen.
It happens everywhere, like really. I mean, it happens like the movie world. You got the big summer blockbusters. They hold off until like kind of September, October time to bring out their little quieter movies. And then December time, obviously they squeeze in the last couple of big ones, like I think it was the Avengers and stuff like that. They just come in and just blast everyone out the water. So it's good they get their first 2 weeks of bit of a bit of news out there, everyone passing the word around. This is a good film. It's like, I can't be bothered, mate. Avengers is out next week. There's that grace period that they get,
I think the difference in gaming though is it isn't so much that monetary investment, which is what going to the cinema is. It's that time investment. So when you're talking about a game like Cyberpunk, which is hundreds of hours that a single player will dedicate to that experience, where else are they going to find the time to play these other games? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, there's no point in even trying to, you're talking about a whole month of time here or whatever, but there's no point, because a large percentage of your player base, because it's such a huge release, will be given over hundreds of hours to that experience. So you just can't compete with that. So there's no point. But in related CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk news, due to the delay, I mean, damn, how much did they get hit? CD Projekt Red, 25% fell off their market price because of the delay.
2.2 billion.
That's insane. 2.2 billion.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, if Cyberpunk is going to be that big of a release, shouldn't now be a great time to start investing in Project Red?
In CD Projekt.
Excuse me while I look at the stock market price.
I mean, I don't know how much it is. It's crazy, because I was reading the article on this, and there's a bunch of numbers in there, and I'll link to it in the show notes in Eurogamer's post. But basically, off the back of the Netflix release with the Witcher TV show, they spiked the highest they'd ever been, and obviously running into the Cyberpunk release as well. And now they've lost basically everything they put on their market price around that Witcher TV show has come off again because of this delay. And it wasn't even a long delay. It's just a case of people have lost confidence now because they don't think it's going to hit December 10. So that's what it's all about, isn't it? The market. It's all about confidence. And it's like, as soon as that goes away, your value falls off. And I want to say it will come out. I really do. And I mean, I was so certain about November release date. I was so certain. The game had gone gold. There was no way in my mind that was getting delayed, and then it happened. So it's really hard for me to say like now. I'm the same. My confidence is shook. So,
it also had a boost when The Witcher 3 was released on Switch, wasn't it? And that was like a big boost in its market as well. Because a lot of people, obviously, they came back to The Witcher when they might have played it before, but obviously a lot of people kind of exploring. I don't want to say. A lot of people, like my friend, he's a big Zelda fan, so he played Zelda to death on the Switch. So I told him about The Witcher, and he said, "Oh, that's coming out." So he bought it and downloaded it. He was just like, "It's a bit like a hardcore Zelda, innit?" I was like,
Jesus, that just hurts me. It just hurts me deeply.
I'm at the point with Cyberpunk where I really hope it's as good as everyone wants it to be.
Yes.
Because if this game comes out and it's not as good as it needs to be, it was it's going to be known for the next 100 years.
How can it not be? It's got the internet's favorite darling, Keanu Reeves, on it.
Rob, at this point, right, this game could come out, right, and be a steaming pile of horseshit, but I think I've invested so much mental effort into my hype around this and my excitement, anticipation of this being one of the best games ever. I just won't recognize the horseshit. I'll just keep eating it. I'm just going to keep eating all that horseshit, and I'm going to like it. I'm going to like every mouthful. I bought the fucking console, mate. I bought the Xbox One X console, which I'm never going to play the game on because of the delays, right? I am going to enjoy eating the horseshit if it is horseshit. I know I'm deleting, so I'm not going to review it. I'm buying this game, right? I'm not going to review it because I cannot be objective. There is absolutely no freaking way I will be objective about Cyberpunk. And I can admit that.
That's fine.
So...
Just give me your code. I'm objective. I'll review it for you.
I haven't even asked for it, to be honest, mate. I haven't even tried. But no, it's really related news I saw today as well, and not on the show notes, but I just saw a little video today, right, of Witcher 3 running on a Series X, and the load times are so quick when you fast travel now, you don't even see the load screen, and it loads in the new location, but the environment hasn't loaded yet because it's so quick. So you kind of watch the textures in the world come in around your character because it loads so much it's so fast, the game isn't ready for it. How crazy is that? Like, that's mad.
That's pretty awesome as a show of power for the Series X.
Pretty cool.
I mean, at this point, we're less than a week out. This time next week, all being well, we're going to have our Series X's.
Damn right.
Apart from Cam.
I paid, my money's come out, Microsoft take my money. I damn well better get that goddamn console on the day. I'm going to be very upset if I don't. But anyway, right. Cam, this is kind of one of yours. This is a PlayStation one, and it made me laugh. So did you hear about this company called, that will put up a URL, I think it was PlayStation5.com, because they were going to do these, like, you know how the plates, the ginormous white wings of doom on the sides of the PS5, they can come off, and you can theoretically put on different plates. So they were going to manufacture those, and they were taking pre-orders, and they take a bunch of pre-orders actually. That was going to come out around the time of the console, but Sony didn't like it. They didn't like the name PlayStation, so they changed the name. They still didn't like it, and they've just had to kill the website, refund all the pre-orders, and go out of business because Sony stamped down on them hard for some reason. Not clear exactly why. But
give it 3 months and they're going to do an offering themselves, I reckon.
Oh, 100%. There's got to be... Yeah, there'll 100% be that. And there'll be special editions and all kinds of... I do like that idea that the design is flexible enough to be able to do that. I think that's really cool. Because damn, that white thing is ugly. Like, it's going to stand out on anybody. Just give me the black option, for Christ's sake, so I can put it in my entertainment unit and it's not like this ginormous, like, fucking ice cream cake that's going to sit in my unit.
I saw some doctored pictures of it with black casing around it. It looks good. It does. It looks so good.
Like, give me a carbon fiber effect. Oh, lovely.
It depends on, like, some of the designs that you might be able to get as a faceplate. Obviously, there would be, you know, probably different companies with probably their own trademark making their own little faceplates and stuff like that. You know, I mean, just first one that came to mind because I was watching some earlier. For example, the pattern design that PewDiePie on YouTube typically uses, for example, I can imagine them having like a PewDiePie patterned faceplate.
Oh, like influencers.
Influencers and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And that could be a great market, but obviously where PlayStation are coming in saying you're infringing my trademark, stop it. It's a bit of a bummer, really, because you know, if you can make your own custom faceplate for a PS5, what would you put on it? You know, if you could upload an image of just your face, like on the PS5, you know whose it is.
This is the beauty of 3D printing. This is clearly how this company was going to do it, right? They got the rough dimensions, they worked it out from the information and stuff that was out there, and they were like, hey, we can produce that, easy, let's do it.
That'd be
3D print it, but you'd be able to make your own in theory, wouldn't you? But I mean, yeah, I think Rob's exactly right. It'll be first party, and they're going to want to keep control of that. And they'll probably be ridiculously expensive, like 50 quid a pair. I remember I had a couple for the 360. Do you remember the changeable faceplates on the 360? I had some of the, I had the Mass Effect one for that, which I never took out of the packet. I've still got it somewhere, like sealed, brand new, because Mass Effect, love it. But like, yeah, that was such a, like, you had wood grain effect ones, and you could get limited edition ones from like E3s at different years and stuff if you went. And it was a kind of a fun, stupid, pointless thing. I think barely anybody ever used it, but it was still a cool gimmick to have, wasn't it? Like,
they they might withhold the gimmick for like another model of PS5. You know, larger internal storage or something. And call it the PS5 Black or something. You know, didn't they do that with the Xbox 360?
Yeah, they had the elite version of it and stuff that came out with bigger hard drives and redesigns, and that's been done too. Yeah, so that makes sense.
I believe also this week we had the internal storage size rumored to be confirmed on the PlayStation 5, like how much usable space you have. It's not a lot. Not a lot at all.
Do you know the number? I didn't see that.
I'm assuming it's at least...
Okay, we both talked over it then. Can we give it a beat and let Rob say the number? 1, 2, 3.
667 gigabytes.
Not 666. Disappointing.
Yeah. About 2/3 of the drive is available, which with current games, that's about 4 games.
That is
or just one Call of Duty.
Well, that is a new story I didn't bother with, which is the new Call of Duty is going to be something like 130 gigs on the Series X. I think it was 139 gigabytes on the Series X or something. I think I saw, which is like that game. That every time I see that game, it looks like it's 3 years old to me. I don't know why it's going to be that ridiculous, but like that's crazy town. That's
also town. At what point is the game going to come with a hard drive to store it on? You know,
dedicated.
Here's your Call of Duty hard drive for this year.
Like on one of the Seagate memory cards that they're selling, so it's it'll cost you 150 quid, but at least you've got the storage space for it. It's like
it's got like a picture of got a picture of like price on the front, and the thing is, fans will just eat that up.
Yeah.
Custom made Modern Warfare. Yeah.
Now moving on to some Xbox news. This isn't really kind of like, you guys are gonna think, why has Ben put this on the notes, right? So they announced what entertainment apps are going to be out on the X and the S, right? Everything you'd expect, but there's one notable addition that isn't currently available, that is going to be available from the release, the 10th, and that is Apple TV Plus. Now that's a big deal because Apple and Microsoft do not normally play together, and Apple haven't put out their app on anything else. Like, it's on TVs, it's on their app, the Apple TV boxes, and on your iPhone and stuff, but you don't see it really on any sort of competitor's hardware. So it's very sort of uncommon to see it on something else, and I've actually been really annoyed. I've got a TV that is just a fraction too old to have the app on the TV, and I was looking at getting an Apple TV Plus, an Apple Block box for it and all other alternatives, but now I'm going to have it on the Xbox, and I'm really happy about that, because there's a whole bunch of shows on Apple TV Plus that I've been really wanting to watch. Like Mythic Quest is on there, and there's the Jason Momoa thing where they're all blind. That looks like a lot of fun, and like other stuff.
I have watched Summer Sea actually, and it's pretty damn good as a series. Does it have to be for Apple only? I don't think so. I mean, they
paid for it, Cameron.
I know, but it's...
I think it's the only way to see it.
But I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, what's it? I mean, Lucifer is on Netflix now, but it was originally an Amazon series.
They do move about a bit more than they used to. I will give you that. Yeah. And then you've got all those amazing Quibi hits. Have you even heard of that? You might not have done. I'm really just deeply immersed in the TV universe, news and stuff. But yeah, Quibi was this streaming platform which got a lot of star power attached, lots of TV shows and stuff were making on it, but it was only available on your phone. And the episodes were designed to be like bite-sized. Everything was like 10 minutes, and you could only watch it on your phone. That's already folded. It lasted like 3 months in the middle of this year, and they're already basically selling off their shit because nobody signed up for it. Like, it came out in this country, but nobody even knew about it. Like, it just flopped before it released. But yeah, so yeah, Apple TV Plus on your Xbox. I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm going to definitely get a sub because it's reasonably priced and there's some good shows on there. I've been wanting to do it for a while. Mythic Quest, by the way, guys, I've seen it. I had to see it through means that I won't go into. However, very, very good if you want to have a kind of workplace comedy about video game developers. It's basically like taking the piss out of Ubisoft. It's very, very funny. It's really well done. And it's got Danny Pudi from Community in it, mate. So, Abed. And he plays a totally different character. He plays this he's the monetization officer. So he's the guy that's always working out how to get microtransactions into the game. He's basically Darth Vader. He's evil. And he's brilliant. Like, honestly brilliant. Like, seriously good. But I digress.
if it's taking a piss out of Ubisoft, do you have to, like, like either pre-purchase the second episode, or is it a microtransaction to watch the next episode? Or
it's pretty good.
They do, however, based on EA.
They do, however, have an episode focused on setting up an ethics committee, which is something Ubisoft probably should have done a while ago. So pro tip there, pro tip guys, pro tip.
The next bit of news, though, is quite interesting.
Yeah,
the Mass Effect N7 day panel announcement. So finally, the kind of Mass Effect size elephant in the room might actually be happening.
So we're all really hoping that's what this means. I think yes. It's a hell of a panel. Like it's all the big voice actors from the original trilogy and then one of the riders from Andromeda. But basically, it's everyone you care about from that original trilogy, like Morden, both the Shepherds, Caden's in there. Oh, sorry, I said people we cared about. Sorry, no. But you know, a lot of characters, and it's like, well, why would they have such a focus on the original trilogy if they weren't just going to come out and say, remaster trilogy is a thing? You don't even need a release date. Just confirm that it's freaking happening, and we're going to get it next year. Like that's what I want. I mean. And it's gonna, oh man, imagine if there's bells and whistles for the new generation of consoles as well, Rob. Like, oh, come on. Just give it to me. I don't even need that. I just want all three in one place with all the DLC that I can play through, like from the start to the finish, in some kind of remaster or HDified version, and you just stable and runs well, and I will just love it and play it forever, and I'll lose my life.
Maybe if they tweaked the ending of the third one just a little bit.
No, I like, you know, this is the thing. They already did that, remember? That ending got changed, right? And I disagree with that to this day because, like any artist, you have a vision, you commit to it, that's your choice. You shouldn't change shit because you shouldn't listen to the consumer and make changes because of that, because they don't like the choices you made narrative-wise. That's just backing down. You should definitely stick to your guns, even if it's not great. But, you know... So don't know any more changes, Rob. I disagree. Leave it as it is. I love it as a whole.
Okay.
I love it as a whole.
Okay. As long as I get Javik, I think his name is back, the Promethean or Prothean.
One of them.
I'm happy because he was amazing.
He really was.
I swear I used that gun. I used the Prothean or Promethean gun the entirety of Mass Effect 3. It never left my loadout.
I'm a big fan of Legion. Big fan of Legion. Love Legion. Legion up all over the place. Tally's my girl, though, all the way. Tally forever. Yeah. What about you, Cam? You look kind of lost.
Are these just a list of people that you guys are trying to bang in Mass Effect?
Yeah, I tell you, Rob's definitely trying to bang Javik. That is true. Rob is definitely into Javik. No, he's
not. Well, I guarantee you do not want my input at this.
You're not a Mass Effect guy. Okay. Well, no one's perfect, Cam. I mean, you're far from it, but we'll add it to
played a game. I've never played a Mass Effect. God. I told you this. This marks the end of my appearances in the future podcasts.
I might go this far, Cam. I might actually go this far, mate. Cam, I'm gonna do you a promise here, man. Right? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna commit to this. I will buy you the remastered trilogy when it comes out. I really will. I really freaking will. That's how passionate I am about Mass Effect. It's genuinely, probably the greatest franchise of video games ever made. Like,
excuse me, I take issue with that. The entirety of the Lego game series, I am.
Did I give you the reaction you wanted? Yes, I think I did.
Yes, suffer for me. And it's just one of those things that it never came up in my history of like games to play. You know,
I'm gonna get you that. I'll buy you the collection. I'm gonna buy you the collection.
If I say I hate Mass Effect as well,
too late.
Collection as well.
Too late. Sorry. Too late.
One
Mass Effect.
Unlucky, buddy. Unlucky. Right. Little one this, because it came from Reddit. So, Microsoft basically said, yeah, we are aware that DDoS attacks via the party system on Xbox are an issue because you connect to an individual and they can therefore use some, dodgy bits of software to see your IP and stuff and then cause you issues. And therefore, parties are going to be going server-based rather than client-based. So they're going to be, and that will up the security level of parties on Xbox, because it is a problem. Like, there are people that play certain games on Xbox, like Rainbow Six, where it really benefits you to have voice comms, right? So you really need to be in that party with someone. So if you play with someone, or random, you have a good match, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to join the party? Come on in. We'll party up. We'll kick some ass," and you join, and then they fuck you over because they get your IP address and they'll DDoS you, and it's just like a shitstorm of annoyance for a lot of gamers. And the whole point of Xbox, I was there at the beginning of Xbox Live, right? And it was all about meeting people, making friends, playing in random parties, playing with randos, and having a great time, making friends that I literally met on there, like, and they've been on my gamer list now for the entirety of Xbox since day one. I've met people in real life from there, you know, so it's very much at the core of the ecosystem. So you shouldn't be afraid to do it. It's kind of shitty that people have to, like, don't do it and have to avoid it because of the security issues. So I'm really happy that they're doing something about that.
I'm the same boat as you. I mean, some of the closest friends that I've met have been over, strange enough, PlayStation. It's not that I'm not outgoing. You know, I can sit down and talk to absolutely anybody in person. But obviously,
but they might see you and then run away.
Games. Yeah, obviously. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm in a black trench coat and sat there across the road like. But no, I have one friend. Shout out to my Irish boy Mike, if he's listening. He is like one of my closest friends, who I, strangely enough, have never met, but invited him to my previous engagement wedding. He was going to be there. The first time I was ever going to meet him was going to be at my wedding. That's how much I love that guy.
All right, so true story. Richard, right? The guy who's normally here with me, co-creator of Experience Kills. I only met him for the first time in person last year. We literally met by playing Xbox games and then coming together on an Xbox website to write about Xbox content. And then, you know, how many years later? Like, one of my best mates who I run a website with, you know, and everything that means. So, like, yeah, that's what you don't want to lose. And that's something that has been affected by these security imperfections that we have with Xbox Live. So if they can do anything to fix that, I'm all for it. Because I might not play as much multiplayer games as I used to. I don't go out there and meet as many fresh people. It still happens occasionally. We're playing Battle Royale games and stuff like that. But it's a lot rare for me. But for young people getting out there, that, you know, this is a real avenue to meeting people and getting out into the world. And it should be a positive experience. So I'm super glad that that's being addressed. Though no time frame or really anything that official. But it was an Xbox employee talking about it on Reddit. So take it as you will. Guys, I'm going to hand over to the Sony boy and the VR boy to hit the next news story, because I will undoubtedly be negative about this. So bring it on.
So,
yeah, go on. You start.
Yeah. So, PlayStation are being a little bit coy about their VR offering, because obviously we've got PSVR on the PlayStation 4 at the moment. It's a decent bit of kit. You know, it runs perfectly nicely, but there isn't a PS5 version of it. And I believe, Ben knows the exact ways around this, to be able to play PS4 VR games on a PlayStation 5, you need the backwards compatible PlayStation 3 version?
No, you've gone back one. Right, so
okay.
The two examples cited are Hitman 3, which hasn't come out yet, and No Man's Sky.
That's what I'm going to
So to play both of those games in VR on a PS5, you will have to use the PS4 version of the games, even though there will be PS5 versions of those games, because the hardware and the system does not natively support, at a PS5 level, PSVR. This is insane to me, right? This was the PSVR was a huge cornerstone of their business 2 years ago, right? I think this says a lot about where VR is right now. They're being very coy around their language. They're not announcing anything going forward for PSVR on the PS5. They're being reticent to commit to anything. I think the bubble has burst in consumer entry-level VR. It's just not selling anymore. It's dropped off. Now I think for hobbyists with the high-end Oculus and the high-end Vives and stuff like that, it's a bit of a different commitment, right, on PC, because it's a bit more like you can get in there and do nuts and bolts stuff. But I think the console market, kind of like, you remember when the 360 brought out the Kinect and how huge that was for about a year? That was this thing that everybody was buying. It really buoyed their sales, made them a lot of money, but then died. Like, when they put that as a forced pack-in with the Xbox One, I think the damage that did to the Xbox One's launch, that was a massive miscalculation.
Yeah, but the PlayStation had the PlayStation Move as well.
Bit of a
have their own kind of
cheaper
version.
Much cheaper.
It's cheaper,
much
yeah.
less ambitious. That was basically Wii technology. So that was that was very different to the Kinect, which was meant to be a motion sensor.
The strange one is the strange one is using PlayStation Move controllers, which were made for PS3, are still the controllers that you use for PlayStation VR.
Yes,
on PS4, which
says a lot about how that shit was hacked together over a fortnight to come out and capture the market when it did. I mean, they threw that shit together quick, and I think they proved they can do it. But if they come back, it needs to be a much more fully featured, bespoke solution for VR, or the long rumored console solution, which would be partner up with an existing PC VR provider and put that on your console, which I feel like would be a smarter move.
When you talk VR, you don't really talk PSVR. It's a good intro level VR headset. I've used a PlayStation VR headset myself. But really, the power in VR and the quality of it is shown best when you're using something like a Vive from, I believe, HTC provide the Vive, or an Oculus Rift. That's really where the best power are. And there are so many different headsets. I think there's an Index as well in there somewhere. I lose track of how many different actual high-quality PC VR headsets there are. I know that I wouldn't buy a PSVR headset over my Oculus, because I have the better option.
Yeah, I mean, I have the PSVR because it was a friggin' steal. It really was. It's disgusting how much I got it for. I'm not going to name how and where I got it from, but I'll tell you guys afterwards. But, I have used a Vive, and I've actually managed to try it with the full body tracking. Where you get the legs moving as well, and that was nuts. I kind of got told off for not necessarily overusing it, but I was doing like this. I forgot I think they call it Swords and Sorcery. I think the game is currently
Blade and Sorcery.
Blade and Sorcery. It might be Blade and Sorcery. Yeah. And obviously you can like grab people, you get the sword, and just run them through and stuff like that. But of course you use your legs as well with full tracking. And I've done kickboxing, I've done kung fu for a long time, sort of thing. So I just kind of instinctively see someone, I'm like roundhousing them, grab a sword through the face, sort of thing. But they got worried I was being too rough with their stuff. I was like, okay, you're gonna have to calm it down now. I'm like, oh, just getting into full swing of that.
Man. Just stab, no kick.
Yeah, put your feet down. It's not as if I was Jean-Claude Van Damme, like
see that, or anything like that. That sounds amazing. But I don't have a 20 by 20 foot square room with nothing else in it, surrounded in cameras and a full body tracking suit. And nor do I have the money or the space to pull that off. I mean, that sounds like the dream of VR, right? When you watch Ready Player One and he's wearing the haptic boot suit or whatever they call it with the goggles, and it immediately, it all feeds back and it feels real and it's fully immersive. And it's like, yes, give me that. But it's not there, is it? For 99.9% of people, it's not even close to that. So it's cool. It's really cool. Yeah. But the game, what's happened is, 2 years ago there was a lot of money from publishers and developers going into making VR experiences, and it's stopped. Like, it's just stopped. They're not making the games now. There's no big VR games on the horizon. Nobody's talking about it anymore. There's no hype around it anymore. It's like people got excited for a minute. And everybody wanted one, and that's what PlayStation capitalized on, and everybody got one, and now they're like, well, there's all right, cool, let's move on.
I mean, there were some cracking games that came out on PlayStation. Like I said, was Resident Evil 7 in VR. It is just horrifying, because I mean, even though it's a first-person variant of the game, and obviously that still gives it a little creep factor, but when it's right there. Yeah, but you're looking around, everything.
It's lazy, Cam. I agree, it's scary, but probably the easiest thing to do in VR is a jump scare. Other than give you a gun and say point and shoot at something. I mean, it's literally lazy, simple cash-in development. There's no creativity in making games like that. There are literally 30 different shooting arena games on PS4 and 30 different jump scare games, and that's basically all the games.
That's why VR players go to the PC crowd, because that's where you get the depth of games.
But why aren't they? I mean, they're not coming to PlayStation because they're asking too much because they can't handle it on that restricted hardware. I'm assuming.
I believe that the hardware on PlayStation isn't sophisticated enough to be able to cope with it.
No, it makes sense. But the problem is you're never going to get that tipping point of adoption. You're never going to get You're never going to get enough players invested in it and buying the hardware to justify the development. That's the thing. That's where this is now starting to stagnate, isn't it?
So they're not deving for PlayStation. They're just deving for PC instead.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's not a big enough market share. And unless they can grab the console market, it will never become a ubiquitous thing that's in everybody's house and therefore the future of games. At the minute, it's just a little hobby side thing. So they need to get that out there at a consumer level.
But what if ubiquitous adoption is not their primary aim at the moment?
At the moment, but surely as a business, there's no other aim, is there? I mean, you want everybody to have it, like, to make you money. Otherwise, you're going to have a cap on everything you can make at all times.
Exactly. They want to make it more accessible, but they understand that there's a certain amount of technological outlay that needs to happen for you to be able to buy it. So instead of the army of gamers that they can appeal to, it's already chopping down some. I believe Cam wishes to interject.
No, all I was going to say to tie that sort of little bit off is basically if Oculus or Vive talk about sending one of their headsets to, Experience Skills, Ben, I'll be happy to take it for you because clearly you don't give a damn.
So, I mean, there was always these rumors. There was a good relationship with Oculus and Microsoft because I believe they packed in for a while there, they were packing in an Xbox One controller with the Oculus headset. I want to say it was Oculus. I don't think it was the other one.
Okay.
And there was rumors, are they going to bring it to an Xbox and stuff? And maybe with the new hardware, with the power it's going to bring, and therefore, that overhead, that tech overhead will be high enough to pull off the experiences in the way that the PC VR developers would want. Maybe we get that, because you've got to remember, right, this is a new generation. They're going to focus on that console to start with, PS5 and Xbox Series X, and then in a year's time, 18 months' time, they're going to be looking for that next big hardware to sell, like they did with the Kinect on the 360, like they did with the PS4 on PlayStation. They're going to want to continue bringing in revenue. So I think maybe in a year's time we start thinking about maybe seeing VR developments on this hardware. I don't think it's done. I just think they're being a bit more measured with their approach this time, because like I said, that PSVR was someone hacked together bit of shit, wasn't it? I mean, Christ, they can fucking move controllers. Like, really, guys, really? They're so crap. But anyway, final bit of news from Sony's end of things, actually. Very last thing before we get into our topic, because this just broke today, right? This is kind of nuts, but makes a lot of sense in the UK. But this isn't just in the UK. This is internationally. You will not be able to get a PS5 from a physical shop on launch anywhere. They are only going to sell the hardware online. Full stop.
Wow.
Interesting.
I get it for the UK, especially for this month. Obviously,
but it's everywhere, Cam. It's not just the UK, US, Japan.
I know that's the crazy part. I wouldn't expect they have to do it internationally. Wow, that's nuts. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think I've ever come across a situation like that for any other console.
Nope, you haven't. I don't think. Nope, this is the first. I actually think it's very socially responsible of them, because they don't want fans queuing at midnight or whatever at stores, not socially distancing, ignoring rules. They're being very socially responsible. They don't need that bad press. If a bunch of COVID shit happened at one of these shops because of PlayStation, it would be all over the news sites and, not just Eurogamers, but BBC and, whatever. Bad press. So I think, the problem is, though, you've got a lot of people that were missed out on the pre-orders. You've got to remember, Sony's pre-order shit was a fiasco, right? So there was a lot of people, because they promised that there would be hardware available at launch as well, that were waiting for that opportunity to get the console, and now they literally won't be able to. I imagine there'll be orders available online on the day, but you won't be able to just walk into a Walmart in America or whatever and pick one up. And that's crazy. That's unheard of. Unprecedented, I believe is the word we use nowadays.
It surprises me.
They said that that the gamers who have pre-ordered it can pick it up at their local retail, but they won't have additional stock for walk-ins.
Yeah, that's mad. I mean, like, damn.
See, I'm wondering whether that is also handily covering a spike in pre-orders.
Well, it's handily covering the fact that they don't have any freaking stock.
That too. I think that's actually what I was trying to say there, rather than getting myself twisted around on my words. They're turning around and going, okay, we can't provide more stock. So the stock that you did originally have put aside to sell on release day, that is now extra pre-order stock. Congratulations. That might be what they're doing it for as well. I think this is still a socially responsible decision Sony are making, but it could be that this has just happened to line up to solve another problem they were having.
It's tricky. It's a tricky time. People are working out as they go along. I mean, I know I'm on Reddit looking at people in the UK freaking out about their pre-orders for the Xbox in game and places like that, because it's like, how am I going to get it? Because we're in lockdown, the shops are all closed. What are we going to do? I think Gamers said that they're basically going to let you pay in advance. So you had to pay this week, right, prior to the lockdown happening. Go into the store and pay, and then you will be able to go and pick it up, like as a dropping off sort of thing. You're just going to walk in, pick it up, and go.
Yeah.
On the day. So as to try and get around the problem there. It sucks for a lot of people, because it's a big investment that people have been very excited for a very long time, and it's fallen during our lockdown, which sucks to be sure. Yes.
I'm quite pleased that I went through Amazon, because if anyone can sort out parcel delivery, it's Amazon. So I'm quite pleased that my pre-order's with them at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. But like that pre-order, that shit wasn't handled that much better than PlayStation. It was a little bit better because we knew when it was going to happen, but it was still a lot of people got very disappointed on the day and stuff when they were trying to get their pre-order. So
I'm slightly worried about the prospect of Amazon delivery drivers that are, I don't want to say that aren't the delivery drivers, like the part-time guys who could swing by, pick stuff up, and then drop it off, sort of thing. Now, my dad works for highway services, and he finds a lot of crap that's been dropped off and just so things that have fallen off the roof of cars, and then stuff that's just been dumped, and they clear that sort of stuff up. And you'd find probably a surprising amount of like empty Amazon packages, which is obviously not going to come from DHL; it's going from Amazon Direct. So, how many of these sort of consoles do you think are obviously people are going to know? Oh, November 12th, that's when they're going to launch day. That's probably when they start delivering these consoles. Massive box, probably about 2 meters wide, no doubt, for the PlayStation 5. And they'll go
one per van.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's a PlayStation 5. That I'm keeping that one.
Yeah,
sorry, you weren't in.
It's an accepted level, what they would call, to use the terminology, it's an accepted level of shrinkage. And Amazon are really good about stuff like that. You don't get your parcel, you tell them you don't get the parcel, they'll send you another one.
But how are you gonna do that?
But you might not be able to.
5?
Yeah, true. With the consoles when they're all gone.
Yeah.
No, fair, man. Like, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Like, that's all we can do.
There are just. What?
I know.
Trust people.
Come on, man. It's lockdown. We've got to look out for each other. Okay. Much love.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Come on. Right. Let's get on to our little topic because it's a lockdown related topic. So. Came up with this earlier today. We don't have a list of prepared games on here, so we're going to have to go off the top of our domes on this one, boys. So basically, the idea here is going into lockdown gives people an opportunity to get in deep in a big game or a franchise or a series of games. And I was just wondering if you guys had any like recommendations for people to like sink their teeth into like a different world to immerse themselves in, take their mind off being on lockdown. What would you recommend? What would you suggest?
See, my first reaction to this isn't a specific game. It's something immersive and open world. So RPG,
you can't.
Things
you got
like
to pick
Assassin's
some.
Creed.
That's ambiguous as hell.
Let me get to the fucking rest of the sentence.
My suggestion is a big game. So if it's a big game, go for it.
But 100 hours,
anyway.
Play it 3 times.
So my suggestion would be something like, if you haven't picked up The Witcher 3, for example.
Definitely a good shout.
Devote your time to it. Something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that you kind of started it, you never really played it that much. Go back to it. Find those sorts of games in your back catalogue and throw yourself at them. Because if anything will take your mind off lockdown, something huge and immersive like Assassin's Creed or like The Witcher 3, even Skyrim, something like Skyrim, that will do wonders.
Hey,
you've got
even even the PlayStation 4 version, obviously that's got the mods available as well. So that can give you a whole new different experience when you're playing the games as well.
That's a really good point, actually, what you said there about Skyrim. It doesn't have to necessarily be a new game, maybe. Maybe it's like time to go back and put on that comfy old sweater of a game that makes you feel happy, that takes you back to a nicer time, a time when things were simpler, a time when things were easier, and it's just time to go back and replay Skyrim. I mean, that's actually my wife's doing that right now. She's been playing Skyrim. She might be playing right now downstairs while I do this. I think, Richard, the idea that you play The Witcher 3 is a very good one. I'm still upset that he's never played The Witcher 3. So Richard definitely should play The Witcher 3. So I think that's interesting. I've thought of one, though, that interestingly isn't comfortable, or even though there's 3 games in the franchise, that long, really. But Rob, Dead Space Trilogy, sir.
Dead Space Trilogy. Well done.
I mean, we've spoken about that before. They are so good. You'll be shitting bricks, but they are very enjoyable. And the thing about the Dead Space trilogy is that it's a really immersive, weird, twisted world. And it will pull you in, and the lead character Isaac is really cool, and the way you take on enemies is really unique. And it's all on EA Play. So as of next week, with the new consoles, you will have the ability with your Game Pass subscription to play all of Dead Space. So I think that's my recommendation to you, sir.
Yeah,
you pick that up.
As a side anecdote for a little fun fact for you guys, I had a friend who actually used to work at EA. There's one down in Guildford where I live, and there was a little promo going on around the time of Dead Space 2. And my friend called me up saying one of their colleagues dropped out. Do you want to earn a bit of cash for a day? I'm like, what's up? We're basically going to go to London, and we've got the promo for Dead Space 2 coming out. I was like, all right, so what do you need me to do? We need you to wear a suit that Isaac wears and just pose for photographs.
You cosplayed as Isaac Clarke from Dead Space series. That's incredible.
It wasn't necessarily cosplay. It was just promo shots and people just walking around London. But the thing is, it was like this lycra suit with metal bits kind of sewn onto it for the armor and stuff like that. And the boots were like a pair of diving boots. They were so heavy. And this LED helmet as well. And admittedly, I was younger. I was a lot slimmer. I looked better in it than I would do now. And
Isaac with his gut hanging out. Yeah. Watch out, Necromorphs. Here he comes.
I'm an engineer. I just got to fix the sink. Hold on, love.
I'm laying pipe.
Yeah, I've laid pipe there, Lilf. So I kind of cosplayed Isaac around London for a bit, a couple of shots here and there, and I don't even know where you can find the photos anymore. I might have them lying around on Facebook. I'll see if I can share them to the Twitter page. But yeah, some people come take photographs. A lot of students who knew what the series was, they're like, "Oh my god!" And so there's a little video probably of me running around there. I was doing the whole Isaac stomp. It's just everyone. There's a couple of guys wanted to take photos of them stamping on my foot, and I'm like. And then the other ones, there's just 4 of us in a row just going just stomping away. And that was a lot of fun. And I got a decent little paycheck from that. I just sort of running around in 4 hours. But man, was that suit hot, heavy, and full of sweat.
Lovely.
Well, I bet that when the guy came back who couldn't do the job that day and he gets his suit back and it's oh God. Oh no!
Oh, God!
No!
Did he go swimming in these diving boots?
No, that's not water.
Just burn it.
That's horrible.
Too damp to burn.
I've not heard that story from Cam. I've not heard that one from you before, so that's really cool.
You're welcome. My lockdown series that I've been playing through, because I duck out of it every now and then, and was recently the 30-year anniversary, I believe I mentioned last time, was the Monkey Island series.
Yeah.
Now, a friend of mine, he actually he found and bought as an early Christmas present for me the Telltale Games, the Tales of Monkey Island, the 5 episodes for me on Steam. And so now I've finished the original games. He's now got me the extra bits where the original voice actors came back and stuff for the new stuff. I'm like, I've got these to play through as well, and that's a childhood love of mine, that game series. So. I've pretty much played most things that Ron Gilbert has brought out. I've done Thimbleweed Park, I've done The Cave, Day of the Tentacle remaster, which is absolutely brilliant. I've done all of it, and I just can't get enough of that style. I love that the comedy in it. It's just it's so on its own, separate from everything else that you really play. I adore it. I really do.
I think we had some good suggestions there. I think that's pretty good. Got some ideas. You got to play some Dead Space, Rob, and Richard. You need to play Witcher 3, or else there'll be trouble.
And Cameron needs to play the Mass Effect series once the collection comes out.
Well, apparently. I was going to recommend Mass Effect, but the idea that the remasters are coming out, it's kind of like you should wait for that. Like, wait for the new when that comes out to play it. It's going to be great. So we're going to get onto some of the things we've been playing, and I'm going to kick us off with something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about some hardware I was sent to have a little look at very kindly. So the nice folks at Snakebyte, which to me was a drink. Snakebite and Black was something I remember having.
That was half a lager and half cider, wasn't
it? Yeah, with some like blackcurrant cordial. Yeah, they actually made it illegal. You can't buy it anymore because in pubs because you just get smashed on it so quick because it doesn't taste like alcohol. So people would just like order 4 of them and down them and just be destroyed. And a lot of fights supposedly happened because of Snakebite and Black. Yeah. True story.
That stuff was the mainstay of my uni career.
Yeah, can't get
Not
it.
for me,
get it in a pub
people, but yeah, wow.
So yeah,
I never had a uni career, but I used to make them when I worked in the pub when they made them illegal because I was like, fuck it.
Great, love it. So responsible, Cam. Really good. So welcome, yeah, Snakebite here sent me a headset to have a look at, and this is the headset SX. It's branded, for the Xbox Series X and S, but it will work on your Xbox One, and it's just a headphone jack, so it'll basically plug into anything like that. And I believe I recorded the entire podcast last week wearing the headset because I wanted to give it a good use case test to see how comfortable it was. And as you can see, it's actually they're quite small headphone cups, and they sit on your ears rather than over them. But they're really nicely padded. And what I really liked actually was the headband isn't super tight. It's actually quite loose, so it doesn't put a great deal of pressure on the top of your head or onto your ears directly. So I found, even though I was using that for about 2 hours last week, if not more, doing the podcast, no issues at all with pain. Really nice, actually really clear audio. Now, there's nothing really that super special about this. It's just a stereo headset. It goes for about 25 quid, I believe. It's can fold up and be transportable, that sort of stuff. So nothing like super fancy, nothing really ridiculously high end, but I thought the quality for that sort of budget end, I just need a new headset to use on my Xbox, was really, really good. I mean, one of the things it actually comes with as well is a detachable boom mic. So that's for, talking, over at your party chat and stuff like that. The other thing I can't...
that last week?
Sorry?
So did you use the microphone last week as well?
No. I mean, that's not going to be as good as my standalone USB mic here, so it'd be crazy to do that. But I have tested it playing Xbox. Really nice, really clear. It's got a nice sort of... Let me show you on this, actually. It's got a nice... The adjustable boomy bit is kind of clicky and stuff. It doesn't just bend. It's not plasticky. It's got an almost a solidy kind of raspy feel to it. So it gets, again, really high quality construction. Doesn't feel like something that would be 25 quid. It feels more expensive than that. It's not going to compete with your high-end Turtle Beaches and your high-end Corsair headsets or Lucid Sound or anything like that. Obviously not. It's not trying to be 5.1. It's not trying to be 7.1. It's not connecting to an optical port or doing any of that or HDMI ports. It is just that 3.5mm headphone jack connection. But I have to say, really impressed. And one of the things, I can't show it to you because I'm actually using it and it's stuck to my desk now. It came with the headphone sort of clip, that you can put on the desk. So you see at the top of the picture here. And that's just at 25 quid to come with that. That's really cool. I mean, they're not like super expensive, but really convenient. I've got it on the side of my desk right now with actually another pair of headsets on it because I knew I was going to be using this. One more thing it's got an inline volume control and mute switch. Again, doesn't have to have that. Very nice little addition. I'm really impressed with it, to be honest. At 25 quid, very kind of them to send it over to me, but I use a lot of headphones. I go through I'm a bit of a headphone fetish, actually. I'm always picking up new Bluetooth headphones to try them out, new different types of headsets, new high-end ones, low-end ones, mid-range ones. I'm a bit of an audiophile in that regard, so I'm always trying stuff out. And at 25, that is an absolute bargain. I mean, portable, comfortable, seems pretty hard wearing, but it's hard to say. I've not used it for days and hours and hours and hours and hours. Compact, well made. Good stuff.
I think that's a solid recommendation from us here at Experience Girls.
I think
it is. It's not too tight. Say not too tight on the head.
No, that's something that's super important to me as well, because I really feel the pain up here when they are too tight. And the fact is, it came out of the box, and I thought, I'm going to have to wear this in, you know? But I didn't. It actually sat, you know, snug, but not painful. Yeah, not too tight.
I'm sorry. So you mean your head is that shape naturally? I'm sorry, Ben.
It is obviously really difficult to talk about and review a headset in a video format like this without you actually being able to put it on and use it. But I'd say it's decent, and like I said, very reasonably priced. Can't really go wrong. I mean, you don't get them anymore, do you? You don't get they don't pack headsets in with the consoles anymore. They've not done that for a long time. So you do usually have to pick something up, and it's like, it's a strange market, because generally you don't need it for something fancy, because obviously now these headsets, of course, they actually bring across the game audio as well, rather than the old ones, which were just the one ear horrible things. Do you remember them back in the 360 days? Those really flimsy.
The last headset I recall that came with a console, at least my friend bought it, was the PlayStation 4, and it came with like a Bluetooth.
Was it not the in-ear ones? They weren't Bluetooth. Yeah. No, they were wired.
No.
Yeah, it came with. I've got it downstairs. The PS4 one was a wired, sort of in-ear, awful thing. Oh my God. Uncomfortable.
I thought it was a Bluetooth one.
No,
you just kind of popped up.
Oh
no. God!
And it just had like this has got here, so it just had an inline mic. It didn't even have a boom or anything. It was utter garbage. Yeah, real bit of tat. But you could tell they spent nothing on it. That's why.
I need to call my friend and just give him a hug. Well, actually, no, not right down. Social distancing. I'll send him a high five over the air.
I miss the headsets that were with the Xbox 360, the little Bluetooth sort of head ones that you could just clip on your ear. They didn't do game noise, but they did do party chat, and they were brilliant.
Yeah, it's a shift away from it, isn't it? It used to be that they only did party chat, they only did the voice stuff, but now they all do obviously the audio as well. And I quite like that. It's nice to be able to sit, you know, and turn off the TV sound or whatever, or your sound bar or your 5.1 system, and just use the headphones. It's great for certain types of games, like if you're playing like a battle royale game like PUBG, and you can hear, you know, all the footsteps around you and really clear.
My one was I had a pair quite big ones like these, kind of massive. All the sound comes in really loud, sort of thing. I had those with like a 3.5mm jack. And it was just I go into a PlayStation controller when Alien Isolation first came out. Ooh. And oh God, it's just as bad as Resident Evil, to be perfectly honest. I had the camera as well, so like, you know, when you do the little head raise, like your character looks over the counter and stuff as well. And I'll never forget my missus at the time came in the door like full on loud, like, "All right, babe," but of course the microphone on the camera works as well. So when you make noise, the alien picks it up. So there I am, sneaking around for about 20 minutes, not being seen. Suddenly, what are you doing? Just instantly comes screaming down the corridor and kills me.
By the way, who's setting off fireworks? I mean, we were recording on November the 5th, and I knew we'd get some fireworks going off.
I've got windows closed and my neighbours directly across the road. I should have sent them a letter. Excuse me, from the hours of 7 till 8:30ish. Can you fuck off?
Yeah, we're doing podcasting. It's far more important than your fireworks.
More important than remembering something from 300 years ago. Thank you very much.
A dude who failed at something which we could have all probably, looking back now, thought, actually, it's a bummer that he failed, huh? Oh, well.
It does make me want to watch V for Vendetta tonight, though. I might do that later.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking. My partner's never said that, and I'm slowly teaching her like the good films, you know.
Good.
It's not condescending at all. I love it. Does anybody else want to talk about a game or anything they've played in this week or so?
I've had quite a quiet game, kind of week for gaming even. I've just been dabbling into Warhammer 2. I'm kind of killing time until the next console generation.
I thought you were saying, well, enjoy your next 25 days. Christ. Nothing but Warhammer for 25 more days. I don't think I can handle that.
I mean, I've obviously, me and Richard did a review for Dirt 5. So I played a bunch of Dirt 5 last week up into the embargo came up at the week or Monday. So please check that video out on the channel. I think it's a pretty good video actually. We spent about 20 minutes talking about Dirt 5 and how accessible it is and how fun it is, and it's got like a lot of Forza DNA to it. If you like the Horizon series, and it's just super accessible and chaotic, and it's made by the same guys that made Onrush, that was also a Codemasters game, which is just really good fun. And it's also stunning. This game, we're so excited, both me and Reggie. We can't wait to try it on the Series X because it's gonna just be incredible with all the enhancements that they're bringing there as well. But it was already good fun on the One X as well. So we had a blast with that. I'm also been playing some Yes Your Grace, which is this little indie game by the No More Robots publishing group, which is just a little outfit in the UK. And it's really cool. It's this weird like kingdom simulator, but instead of like building stuff, you're just plays the king, and you basically have these like petitioners that come up to you, and you have to make decisions like based on what they're coming to you with. And it's like, oh, maybe I'm going to spend some gold on that. Maybe I'm going to tell you to F off. But it all has like ramifications and knock-on effects to your kingdom and to your other petitioners and stuff like that, and there's lots of connective issues and stuff about that, but that was sent to me because that's going to have randomly a Series X enhancement. So I was like, okay, no idea how this pixel art game that basically has very little moving graphics is going to look any better on the Series X, but it's very cool so far. So I look forward to touching on that in Series X as well and coming back on that. And then finally I've been playing a bunch more Watch Dogs Legion, which is still loads of fun, like
good,
so much fun.
I've before lockdown, obviously I was still at work, and well, what am I going to do at work? Certainly not work. So I took in a controller, I took in my Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, and I decided to give the old Stadia and the old GeForce Now systems the old college try while I was at work, while it was quiet. They are working remarkably well. They
what
really
did you play
are.
On Stadia?
I kind of flicked through some of the games. I've got my character loaded from my PS4 version of Destiny 2, so I can play Destiny 2 on the Stadia, which is cool. Some old titles on there, like the old Serious Sam collection, which graphically I don't think has changed since 1993.
No, not the old
that's
ones.
kind of the charm of Serious Sam, really.
Oh, they're great. I love Serious Sam. Awesome games.
And some of the cool things they've done with GeForce Now is that you can connect up most of like your entire Steam library for as long as it's got the capabilities via the Steam, you can play your game through GeForce Now. That's so cool. I could play some Armor if I wanted to play some Wrath, for example. There's a big update that came up through that. I had to go on that. All from the comfort of my work desk.
Can you tell us your power level in Destiny 2, please, so me and Rob can admonish you with how pathetic you
are? No, I cannot, because A, I've forgotten, and B, I don't want to be admonished for how pathetically powerful I am.
Well, low power. Like, we're much more powerful.
Oh, low power. No, I mean, because I'm so far behind on like a lot of the DLC stuff like that, so I doubt I'm even past like 300 light.
What? I think you have to be. I don't think you can be
the
that
minimum
low.
possible you can be is 750.
I honestly, because I honestly can't even remember how far I am in the story. I'm not even sure if I've killed the big boss of the main story yet.
Wasn't Rob 300 was like the original cap in D1, wasn't it?
300 is donkey's years out of date. The minimum possible power you can be is 750.
I reckon he's probably in the 800s.
I might just make a new character and make sure I'm there then. Make a new warlock.
Every bit of gear was uplifted to that number. That's why it's the lowest possible you can be.
I was talking about Destiny though.
I need to things working.
Talking about Destiny because we have to, because Destiny is live. I was playing some more of that stuff you recommended me to do, Rob, and I got to a point and I was like, do you know what? I'm bored now. I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna wait for Beyond Light. So I'm just gonna wait. I got to the second like raft of quests for the characters.
So you got to the bit where you get the good stuff.
Yeah, but it's like asking me to do like more like really anally specific shit. And I just can't be bothered. It's just like going back to those worlds with those people with that enemy. I've done it so much, Rob. And I'm just like, do you know what? I'm just going to stop now. I'm going to come back with Beyond Light next week. And I know it's all going to be gone. And I'm actually really looking forward to that. There is a freedom. I can't wait to not have 50 quests in my quest log, and it's just going to wipe them out and clear out most of them. And I'm just like, no more of those worlds, no more of these worlds. I'm going to be, it's almost like coming in fresh again. I'm really looking forward to that.
See, what I'm going to say is try and persevere with it, because the guns you get are worth it.
Yeah, no, they have been good. The ones I've had so far, like
the very specific quests that you get, I managed to get them done in 1, perhaps 2 runs of a strike.
Yeah, I just can't be bothered.
But I understand if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. It's they will cycle the content back out again. That's the bonus of the Destiny content vault. Nothing's gone forever.
No, it's great, and then I'll be more interested in doing it again. So I'll come back to it. Yeah.
For my next batch of that style, I guess, of game, I'm waiting for the season 2 part of like Borderlands 3 to come in.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big Borderlands fan. Ben's already shaking his head. I might as well just disconnect now and let you wrap up. See you later.
No, it's okay. No, I'm going to go back. Because it's getting enhancements. I'm going to check it out on the Series X. I'm going to go back.
I'm going to drag him through it.
Going to do it. He's going to make me.
But
I don't have any of the season pass, though. But yeah, I will go back.
It's my my newest purchase and newest foray into hell that I've been playing. Has actually been Doom Eternal. I've got it.
Mate, so good.
I got it on payday last week and finally installed and everything, and I started to get into it this week, starting Monday. And oh god, it is still just an adrenaline, edge of your seat action fun.
Rob stopped playing because he found it too difficult.
No, I stopped playing because my console can't hack it.
That's true.
It's too difficult for your console.
Yes, exactly. The game is too beautiful for my console to be able to process it. Yeah.
I'm loving it. I just got the old super shotgun back and everything, so everything is just getting its face.
Oh mate, that super shotgun, right? You upgrade it, and it has like a chain, like whip link thing that you can fire at enemies that pulls you around them. You can like shoot enemies and it'll pull you towards them. It's so good. And then you upgrade it further and it does, you know how you have the different like damage things you do in Doom now? And it's like you do the burning attacks. It will do that. So when it pulls you towards them, sets them on fire, and then when you're shooting them and killing them, they're dropping armor shards. So it just encourages you to always be flying around the map as much as possible straight into enemies' faces. It's amazing.
It's actually saved my life a few times. I've managed to, what was it? I think I got knocked over by a pinky into like the depths of the unknown end of the game sort of thing, and I've managed just to like grab and go back onto an enemy, back up into safety, and just thank you.
It feels so good, doesn't it? Just flying around with that thing, it just feels awesome.
Next week I'll let you know.
Yeah, you're still really early, aren't you, Rob? Yeah, you're
super early.
Yeah, okay. You've got to get back in there. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I still instinctively try and press left button to sprint. Left joystick to sprint in Doom, and I was like, it's a constant speed, you idiot. It does nothing. But every time I do it,
it's like the habit of ADS on the left trigger. You don't need to ADS in Doom. You don't need to reload in Doom, for crying out loud. There's no reloading in that game. You just fire until there's no bullets left.
Yeah, I always wondered that about the heavy machine gun. Like fully uploaded, you get 150 rounds, and I was like, is there no overheating? Is there no reload?
Just keep going. And then my favorite thing on that machine gun is you pull the left trigger and it turns into a fucking rocket launcher. It's like, oh my god, it's so good. So good.
I actually typically use this sniper attachment on that more often than the rockets.
No.
Like some of the what's it? Not the Mancubus, the Cameron monster, the machine gun in each hand, big fat bastard.
Yeah.
Sniper shot both barrels off of that thing, and then it's like that's his long range gone, and then I'm just like, sweet, super gun grappling hook.
Yeah, so Doom Eternal, there's much more of like they've designed it much more carefully about encouraging you to use everything at your disposal. So yeah, you will be using there will be times you want that sniper. It's very specific to hit those weak points, and then you're going to switch back to the shotgun, the normal shotgun, because it's got that sticky grenade launcher, which is really good at taking the cannons out on top of the spider guys. And it's so there's a lot more in the puzzle that all comes together. That makes you actually have to think a lot on the fly very quickly about how you take out the encounters and stuff like that. It's fucking awesome.
I've never actually ever used the full auto attachment on the normal shotgun. I only ever used the grenade launcher mod.
It's good though. If you just want to dump, like just rapid fire in close against an enemy, just open up on them. It's great.
It's the sort of thing you'd only really use on like a behind a boss maybe, but yeah, it's just going up against the kind of the one-eye guys that float around and you just shoot it in their mouth. It's instant
the one-eye
kill.
guys that float around. Do you mean the cacodemons? I mean, come on. You didn't know the name of a cacodemon. Everybody knows the cacodemons.
I barely remember Rob's name each week. I called him Richard last time.
You did. That's true. You did forget the person. You did. Do you know what? I think, and on that note, the fact that my two co-hosts don't even know each other's names, I think we need to wrap up episode 7.
You again?
Yeah, who am I? That's it. You don't even know who I am anymore. I'll tell you this. Well, we'll do this. You know what? Wrapping up, it will help because I'll go over the names again. So I've been your host, Ben. And I can be found on Twitter at DIYE. With me today, we've also had Rob, who can be found at Homeless Mr. Gibbs. You know your own name, Rob. That's good. And then over here, we've got Cameron, who can be found at Camelot on Twitter as well. You can find us in general at Experience Kills. And if you've enjoyed this as a video, but judging by the numbers, most people actually listen to this as the podcast. But if you have enjoyed this as a video, please give us a like and subscribe. We are about 25 subs off of 1,000 now. It's getting real, boys. We're very nearly at 1,000. It's really cool. So hopefully you can help us get to that number. Please come back next week because it's going to be a riot.
Big week.
It's a huge week, right? So I don't know exactly when we're going to record the podcast. We might do it a bit earlier. Yeah. Not sure exactly. I'll talk to Richard about that. But we're also going to have sort of like a live impressions of the hardware unboxing, which me and Rob will do on the day of the hardware next week on Tuesday. And I will try and get that up as soon as possible on that day as well. We're both very excited about it. Obviously, it's going to depend a lot on when hardware shows up. But I've been experimenting today with ways we can show that nicely on the podcast here for you guys as well in the video and stuff. But just our noise, which will be mostly what you're going to get out of that video. But it'll be worth it for that. It won't be long, I suspect, because we're going to want to play on them.
Exactly.
But it will be fun. We want to share that joy with the world in lockdown. I think that is important. But yeah, so after that we'll have then a proper podcast where we'll be talking about all our initial game impressions, how the hardware stacked up, you know, any issues we've had getting things up and running, you know, trials and tribulations of me installing Rock Band with 900 pieces of separate DLC, which literally breaks every Xbox console whenever I try and install it. So I'll be interested to see if that works on the Series X.
Pro tip, don't do that.
It's not designed. It just doesn't like the library system on the Xbox does not like that amount of DLC. It just fucks it every time. So I can't wait to try that.
Don't do it.
But I've got to do it because I have to have Rock Band. I have to have Rock Band. I love Rock Band. It's probably my most played games.
This is the first time I've ever heard you talk about Rock Band.
Yeah, same here. And I've been doing this for like 3 years.
Really? You know?
No, yeah,
I'm a huge Rock. I literally have 900 pieces of DLC of Rock Band. I have spent thousands of pounds on Rock Band over the years. Thousands of pounds.
It's nothing but Prince.
I mean, he hasn't got that many songs, but okay.
You just keep buying the special
and to be honest,
editions.
I don't think Prince is even on Rock Band. Like, I would know if he was on Rock Band because I have probably a high percentage of all the songs on Rock Band. I have probably like 30% of the songs that are available at this point. I don't know, something ridiculous. But no, I don't know my love of Rock Band. Oh my god, we'll do a whole thing.
You have to do an Experience Kills like charity run of you going through all 900 songs on Rock Band.
I would die.
Charity stream.
You would
charity, of course.
What am I doing? Playing guitar, singing? What am I doing for all 900 songs?
All of it. Everything at once.
To put it this way,
you'll be the Dick Van Dyke character from Mary Poppins, the one-man band.
This is a very strange brag, but I am so familiar with some songs that I can sing and play the guitar both on hard and get on average over 95% score when I do it.
To be honest, I can do that with most songs I listen to. It's just I have to that's just remembering songs, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you learn the song, don't you? But there is a game element when you play Rock Band. You have to sing at the right pitch and the right timings, and you have to also hit the right notes. And so you are learning it like you would learn something. But I'm just saying, some shit I played a lot. Like, I even went so far as having a separate mic stand at one point, so I could have the mic on a stand and play the guitar. I fucking love Rock Band. Yeah, Rob didn't know this about me. It's dark
new information.
I'm just saying, sounds like I swing down to Richard, pick him up. We all come over to yours for dinner on a Rock Band session. We just stream the Experience Skills Rock Band.
Dude, if lockdown and COVID wasn't a real thing, 100% you'd all be welcome. I'd love to do that. I would. I don't have a drum set anymore though, sadly. But I only have a guitar and a mic because usually the wife likes to sing and I play the guitar and we alternate. But yeah, I don't have the drum set anymore. But yeah, ever since day one, plastic instrument games, they're one of my favourite genres. Absolutely love them.
Interesting.
Yeah, Rob's like, wow, Ben, not just into open world games and first person shooters. Never
exactly.
There are multitudes, my friend, multitudes.
On that delightful note,
wow, that was the outro, and it just went into a whole nother topic.
Whoops.
Yeah, so I've done half of it, haven't I? Yeah, so give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. We really want to get to that 1,000 subs. This year would be fantastic. I think we're going to do it. Probably this month with a little bit of luck. But yeah, very exciting. I think for that podcast we're going to do, we've all got Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions, so if we get any of those codes in the box and stuff, I think we're going to do some giveaways as well. So some of those trial codes, that'll be really nice as well. Hopefully we can get back to you guys a little bit. Please come back, and we've already had one comment on the YouTube video from last week about suggestions for what games we play on Game Pass, so give us some more of those suggestions for the next round of those. That'd be brilliant. But we're currently playing Darksiders Genesis, which is the isometric game, which is going to come back in about 3 weeks. I think we're going to cover that with Richard, which will be fun. So there's lots coming up, lots to look forward to. Games are happening again in November. Fingers crossed they keep happening in December. You know what I'm talking about, so so we ain't going nowhere. It's going to be a hype week next week. It's going to be so good. I'm proper excited.
Come back next week. If you don't come back, Ben doesn't feed us.
And on that note, I'm going to say good evening, even though you're probably watching this on Sunday afternoon. But bye-bye for now.
Bye.